Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Hades 2. Here is our Arcana setup for the day. We are going to be taking the aspect of Artemis on the Sister Blades, running a 16 heat overworld run. And I'm going to be playing around with the Shadow vow to see how that plays, just so I get a little bit more practice with some of the harder vows. Where's Rocky in all this? Here, Rocky, have a treat.
Here you go.
And now we get plus 3% crit chance.
Just love these.
Vision bond. Alrighty. Alright, let's send this. We're gonna do a Fate swim run, of course, with the jeweled palm and see where it takes us. Today I'm gonna be picking up where I left off in the last episode and kind of rambling more about my experience with League of Legends.
It's good to have your brother back, my niece. How he would scurry through your father's underworld like a rat fleeing a sinking ship. But now that ship is bound to be repaired. And it'll be a fine ship after all is said and done.
Alrighty, your attack please, sir. Of course we don't get it. Your special isn't bad, especially if we do get Brick Knives, so I guess I'll take that. Alternatively, Cast would be pretty solid here, as it would apply Froth, and we'll definitely benefit from Froth. So I think I have two reasonable options. I think I'll take Tidal Ring here. Sure.
The tides come in.
I want to have a good way of starting to apply Origination, so I won't complain too much about this. We'll inevitably get our second god pretty early on into this run. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to talk a bit more about League of Legends this run. So in the last episode, I talked about my time playing support. I didn't really address why I like playing support. In part, it was just a good role for someone who's learning the ropes. Doesn't have to be the primary carry on the team, but is learning kind of the nuances of gameplay and how to ward. I think everyone at some point in their League of Legends career, quote-unquote career, should learn how to play support, because it really is the role that emphasizes ward placement, the things that grant vision in the fog of war against your opponents. Let's see, Melting Slice, Omega Special fires dead ahead, attacks are 35% faster. None of these are really great for what I want to do with this build so far, but if I had to pick one, a way to really reliably shred armor sounds too good to pass up.
My blades shine like the moon.
Armored enemies are definitely going to be the things that really slow down a melee-focused build in particular, or any build, frankly, so it doesn't sound like a bad goal for us to get some. Definitely want HP, Hera's great, another Poseidon is good. Do I want Ares on this build? Hephaestus is definitely solid for a support god, I think. I still would not complain about Poseidon's attack here. And I think Hera is a great supporting god, so I guess Ares on the riposte would be pretty solid. HP, Poseidon, for sure. Double Hera is 4 boons. Hephaestus as a support god, and I guess I'll take Ares after that. So let's start with the second Poseidon boon. They'll happily take most of his boons here.
Hold still in their shades.
Anyway, so why did I like playing support? Like I was saying, so I think it's very good for a learning role, but if you want to have a more consistent impact on the game, I think a lane where you win your lane on your own merit, I think very much helps teach you some of the ropes of the game as well. And for me, since I liked playing tanks, it made the most sense to go top lane, because top lane is kind of, at least back when I played, most commonly played by tanks. Mid lane back then was very assassin focused, or very assassin heavy. It was about the time when Zed had come out of the game, and Zed was like one of the scariest assassins back in the day. Immediately getting benefit from C-Star for an extra 5 HP, woohoo! But yeah, Zed, Talon back then was pretty crazy. Katarina was extremely popular back then. All of these characters, for context, Kiwi, are characters who are good for burst damage or just coming out of nowhere and killing your squishier allies. So I liked tanks because they were a very good counter to assassins. It's very hard to assassinate someone if they're not squishy and have a bunch of resistances or armor against your base damage. It's not fun to be the priority target. Also, I think it's worth mentioning, like, then you don't have to just play around dealing damage and playing well. You have to focus on not dying, which when everyone knows you are the primary damage dealer, you are going to be their primary target, which makes it very exhausting very quickly. Whereas tanks, you run in, your goal is to kind of keep your allies alive while they do the damage. So it's still almost a support role, but then there are, I like to play off tanks more specifically. So off tanks, yeah, they're tanky, but they're not prioritizing only tank stats. They still have solid damage in their own right. They're not the tankiest things out there, and so they can have a easier time carrying than others sometimes for that reason. All right, this house needs to go. I'm not really using Aspect of Artemis the way Aspect of Artemis is supposed to be used. I haven't reposted once this entire fight, but I feel like our base damage is just too good. All right, there's... Ooh, okay, we just got extremely tanky. We just got 100 HP. Thank you, Sea-Star. Thank you, Poseidon. And that's why you take early game Sea-Star, because it just puts in the work. All right, let's see. We'll lock in a Hera boon. I think either her cast or sorry, either her attack or her special here would be more than adequate, and her dash is very solid as well. And for a build that really does not have much in the way of magic consumption, her gain is solid as well. So basically, any of her core boons here will do us well. Let's see what we get.
Olympus calls.
This night has left me feeling ill at ease, for many of our enemies are growing rather bold. Mortals experience fear when their lives are at risk, but this cannot be that.
Hera feeling fear? Not in the not even possible. Let's see. Rousing reception. We did not buff her boons. I guess I'll take Nexus Sprint. It's always a good dash. It's never a wrong choice here.
Bond renewed.
Anyway, let's see. Do I lock in Ares now? I think I still go for the second Hera boon. It's less priority though. I guess I'll take Harry's. I'll take Harry's. Oh, actually, you know what? Poseidon. Or Hephaestus. I'm sorry, what? I think out of all of them, I want Hephaestus's special. So let's go Ares first, just so that I have fewer boons that I care about getting. Because I think Grizzly Gain is fine here as well. More attack speed means more attack. If we do get Grizzly Gain, I'm definitely going to prioritize Poseidon's attack over any other attack boon, because I suspect just getting a bunch of Froth enhanced attack splash damage will be pretty well set for potentially getting Poseidon's legendary at that point too. So I think it's just objectively probably our best build path if we go in a attack focused attack speed sort of build with Ares and Poseidon here. We'll see what we get though. Ares, what have you got for us?
My dear mother, the Queen, is careful not to show any member of the family undue favor, not even the children to whom she gave birth. I like to think that my propensity to be objective comes from her.
Are you objective, or are you just obsessed with war and bloodshed? Let's see, Grizzly Gain. Man, we've had a lot of runs where Grizzly Gain was just a really good boon for us. We've been very attack speed focused of late. Not complaining to mind you, just an observation. Anyway, so yeah, I like support because it was fun to maybe not be the carry, but support's very much focused on crowd control and limiting opponents' abilities and being tanky, and there was definitely a degree of fun for that. Setting someone up for success is in its own right very fun, and I think it kind of plays to where my strengths lie. I don't like to be the big showrunner most of the time. I like to be kind of the quiet support from the background sort of character. And I'm fine with that most of the time, but it was a little frustrating when you got paired with someone who just could not follow up on your, like, it's not even that they couldn't do it, it's that without communication, support can be a very frustrating role because you have to depend on people understanding what your intent is, and it's very hard to communicate that, especially back in the day where I was first playing, where the ping system hadn't really been developed very heavily yet. Nowadays, the ping system is lets you kind of communicate a bunch of things with your teammates. All right, let's see. Between her attack or her special, I feel like I want her attack more than I want her special here. Reason for that is I think Hephaestus will do better as the special boon than our attack. But ooh, we are talking Poseidon here. All right. We already have a good way of applying Hitch. I think I take Hephaestus on the special and take Poseidon on the attack. So I'm going to hold out and we'll take Rousing Reception here. Definitely not her best boon, but it is fine enough. All right, Heffy, give us your special, please. If we don't get offered his special here, I'm not going to take his attack. I am going to hold out for Poseidon at this point in the run. I really need to be using my riposte a little bit more. There's no reason not to. For context, just so you remember, Kiwi, the aspect of Artemis, the way it works is you charge up your Omega attack and you get a shield. And if you get hit while you're in that shield, one, you don't take any damage for the next second, and two, you now have 50% crit chance on all attacks and specials, which is rather nutty, especially if you combo it with some good base damage boons. All right, Heffy, what have you got for us?
Oh, I take back everything I said about your weapon first we met. In my defense, ain't often I see workmanship superior to mine. Though don't go telling anyone I said as much.
Look at you having a little bit of the good old Heffy humility. All right, we are getting an epic tier special. We only need 4 more palm levels or 1 rarity up on this, and then a palm maybe, and it is at 2-second cooldown already, which is just great for us. Using the jeweled palm, doing a Fate Swim run, and rolling Hephaestus is so strong because you already have a significant amount of cooldown reduction on his very strong boons. I think we're leading into a very strong run. Oh, hey Hermes.
Oh, great. You're headed up this way and not gone too far yet. Think you could make good time on your way here, although the choice is yours.
Nimble limbs, please. Mean streak success rate. Ooh, success rate with C-Star is pretty nutty. All right, let's see, 40%. Now, let's see if this is additive or multiplicative. I'm actually very curious here. So we're going from 40% to
Haste.
50. Ah, shoot, it's multiplicative. That's kind of lame. It is what it is, but it's good to know now. And it does actually reflect the benefit from success rate, which is really good to know. I do appreciate that. So there's a 1 in 2 chance of us doubling up on any major rewards that aren't boons or hammers, which is always fun with Poseidon in the mix. Alrighty, let's see what we get from the shop. We're not as coin-ridden as we usually are, but we've still got a fair good number. I don't think I take the armor here. We're pretty tanky.
Hear me, on my authority.
Hera, what have you got for us? Proper upbringing already. We don't have it unlocked yet, but that would do us very nicely for, I guess, not really all. It would upgrade C-Star, so I guess I take that. Extended family would be good if we had Poseidon's attack, but we don't have that yet. Yeah, we'll take proper upbringing for now. It'll scale okay for us, I suppose. We just need 2 more elemental boons, and I'm sure we'll get them by the end of this run.
You know what's nice here with this witch around? I'm normally not big on talk, more about the olfactory and the auditory and all that. So I might let her handle the conversating for a bit.
Alright, works for me. Gotta riposte immediately and just start wailing in on damage. Need to remember to toss out my ding ding every chance I get. Pick up my plasma for some extra damage. Need to pay attention to the cooldown on our riposte as well, because now that it's up, I get that, and now I'm crit chance again. Time my dodges beautifully there, get a ding ding. Friends are dead. Cool. Alright, that's about as good as I could ask it to be. Parry is ready. Got it. Bing, 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 bing. And because we attack so fast, we get a lot of chances to proc the activation of Grizzly Gain, which is also very much worth noticing. Ran right into the poison there, unfortunately. Alright, bail out so I don't get hit by this big AoE. Fine. Charge up another parry. Block this. Ding ding. Completely. Sometimes relying on the auto aim in this game is a little bit of a pain point, honestly. Parry is not fully charged. It will be in a second. There it is. And bam. Okay, second bam is better than the first, I guess. Alright. Good stuff. So yeah, I think ultimately there was, to be clear, I really do like the support role. I got frustrated with it because I wanted to have a bigger impact on the game than I could in bot lane and not have to depend on other people winning lane for me or with me. Like, obviously as a support, you can absolutely hard carry your team. There's no doubt about that. It felt like there was a much steeper climb to do so. And usually it's also just support is a very thankless job in a lot of ways, just because you have to constantly be going out of your way to ward, but also guarding your carry, which may be prone to getting walloped if you don't choose your timing right. In the current meta, the supports roam a lot more, and so you have to be ready for major objectives across the map, abandoning your lane and potentially setting your carry up for failure if they choose not to play safe. I forgot to change my keepsake again, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay, thank goodness. I genuinely thought I forgot to change my keepsake a second run in a row, right in between Thessaly and Ephira. That would have been embarrassing, Kiwi, if I did it twice. Anyway, I don't really care about palms right now. I'll take the coin to buy more things in the shop. Anyway, let me take 1 hit so I get my crit chance, if you don't mind. Thank you. I need to remember that if I dash while charging up my Omega attack, I do cancel out the Omega attack, and I have to recharge it. Parry is ready. I'm glad that they give you both an audio and a visual cue to let you know when the parry is ready to go again, too. But yeah, we've got good damage. We've definitely got good damage between parry crit chance and ding dings. Your attack, please. All right. And we can rarefy it to max, which means that we are officially very strong. Very, very strong.
Might to might.
Yeah, a percent-based boon that makes us
Shamblers.
scale with crit even better would probably be the objective choice there, so Harrow is probably the better attack boon here. I just think going attack damage on a build that already scales with so well with attack damage will work just fine for us. And the crit on the base damage still isn't bad, mind you. Like, we apply Froth, we apply Splash, and we just do so much damage in a very short order. Like, look at that. Very good. And we got another Palm up thanks to that Nectar on the attack. We are sitting so very pretty. Anyway, so beyond that, let's see, what else is there to talk about? So why did I switch to top lane? Like I said, I favor tanks. I like having enough time to think about what I'm doing and maybe not be the enemy team's priority focus for damage. But I like to be able to run in, deal my damage, do my job, and then get out. And tanks that focus in top lane were very much that fact. Back then, there weren't really a lot of mages that I liked to play that did well into the assassin meta either. I like to play, like the mages I played were typically the squishier end, Lux, Vhagar, basically burst mages that did a lot of damage in a short bit of time, but were also very squishy, and I didn't have a lot of good sense of like map awareness or positioning to avoid getting caught out. So they just didn't work very well for the way I played the game. So I basically never touched mid lane. Now if I were choosing my kind of roles that I would play most commonly and most willingly, I would say top lane is always first choice, and then secondarily would be mid lane, because I play a lot of casters nowadays, and so the mages of League of Legends actually cater well to my skill set. And the reason for that is I have just played so many of them in ARAM that because they're usually very good in ARAM. A lot of good AoE damage that okay, do I put this on the attack where the focus of our build is, or do I go more into Ding Ding? I feel like getting Ding Ding where I can get Ding Ding is probably the better choice. So I will do that, but I feel like most of our damage will be coming from the attack for the majority of this run. Need to not forget the Hermes shop that's over here when we finish our run, or finish this location. Anyway, so I think as far as top lane goes, the reason why I like that is pretty clear. The other big reason is it is the lane where most people played Singed. Singed was a powerhouse in the early meta of League of Legends. He was very commonly used on professional teams. Oh, hey, Poseidon. What do you got for us? No, I don't want your special. Buried Treasure is kind of funny. Ranking it up further wouldn't be terrible here. I think that'll bump it to what, like 125% increase on everything? I think I save my Rarefy for things that give us more direct benefit, though.
Feeling generous.
Poseidon is... I love the buff that they gave Poseidon. Poseidon boons that are... Whenever C-Star activates, Poseidon gets progressively more hype about it. It's so funny that they did that, and I highly approve. One more boon of Hermes, one more boon of any god, and we're gonna go see Cersei now. Get ready for a rap battle, Kiwi. I'm on caffeine. This is probably gonna go better than usual.
Solid ground.
Mice, apple pieces, olives, figs, ginger roots, and cypress twigs.
I don't know what rhymes with twigs.
Fang and feather, tuft of wool, dusky wing and horn of bull.
Okay.
Form a circle, think afar, seal the contents in a jar.
Okay, my brain. It turns out with caffeine and ADHD, my brain just completely shuts down for rhyme game. Okay, that was. I didn't even try. Oh gosh, that was awful. That was embarrassing.
Oh, why, thank you so much, little miss. Again, the nectar you bring tastes so sweet, and yet my feelings for it are becoming clouded recently. So let this be the last for now.
Sounds like Cersei has had enough of our good drink. Also, Kiwi of current time is laughing at me for completely failing in every aspect of even trying to rap there.
Madam Cersei, was it something I did or said? You're left to your own devices on your island here, and so I thought perhaps you might enjoy a bit of an exotic good.
And that I do. But I'm reminded with each bottle of a life I led filled with great luxuries, most all of which I've left behind, and I shall not go back.
An interesting development from the perspective of effectively a hermit.
I fully understand. But thank you truly, madam, for all your wisdom and for making me your guest.
Sweet notion. We did not get bond formed, so looks like at some point we'll get to advance her story, but it doesn't look like it'll be with Ambrosia just yet.
Such a magnificent raven you have. Not many seabirds venture quite this far, and I oft ward the rest of them away.
Madam, this is Rocky, who I'm certain feels more comfortable within the woods of Erebus, but has proved willing to explore.
I appreciate this notion because it would make sense that out of every character in the game, the one who would be most excited about our animal familiars, aside from Hecate, who gives us 2 or 3 of them, would be Cersei, especially considering the aspect of Cersei and how that works with our familiars in particular.
Rocky, is it? How do you do then, little bird? This isle ought to make the perfect feasting grounds until you're ready to depart. Oh, you each take care.
Be sure to enjoy my swine. They taste delicious when grilled in my oven. Oh goodness. Well, that's a good sign of things to come when I go play Pokopia after this recording. All right, get smaller and faster, get 3% more crit chance. Do I really need 3% more crit chance when I already have 50 at base? Or randomly draw Arcana? I think, let's take the dodge chance.
Be safe.
Be tiny.
Am I... Oh. Peace, Madam Cersei.
And to you.
We'll skip her house, so we know she's not gonna let us in. I suspect if we rank up her friendship with us, we will eventually gain access to her house. It seems implied, the fact that they're drawing attention to it, because otherwise it would just not be a thing, right? I mean, I will give credit to the devs if they commit to the bit and just say, well, we're never going to visit Cersei in her house, but I feel like there was some degree of mention of this in relationship to Hypnosis. Around the time of Hypnosis progress, like when they updated Hypnos to have more progress with his quest line, I do think they also made something about Cersei's house. I could be mistaken. I could be very mistaken about this, but I feel like there's been an implication there. It feels like no matter what we do now, if there's an armored enemy, if I toss a special out, they will never have their armor because between Ding Ding and the hammer we got, all armors just shred immediately. I can't wait to see our mini-bosses and how melted they're gonna get, because the main thing that keeps mini-bosses scary is the fact that they have so much armor, and they're just gonna immediately lose that. I feel like we already have a very strong build. I think I have come around on Poseidon, honestly. I used to think Poseidon was probably the weakest god, and maybe in a vacuum I still think that. He's definitely the weakest in terms of support gods. But when you you do not need to get a lot in the way of a core boon build from him to get him online and causing a ton of rampant damage. I think we're already potentially set up for his legendary, actually, now that I think about it. We'll see. We have, now that I think about it, we have Ares, so there's a decent chance we get his duo, which will scale really well for us too, mind you, because that's just gonna up the damage on our splashes. Yeah, we have a very strong build. You know what we need at this point? We just need more Ares, because we get mutual destruction, we get his oh, you know what? We don't have wounds. We don't have a way of applying wounds, so there's no way to get both of his damage boosting boons, but that's fine. Even just mutual destruction will be disgusting on this build, considering how much HP we are getting off of what's it called? C-Star doubling up our HP. I mean, we are at 275 max HP already. Out of these two, I don't really need a lot in the way of max magic, so I guess I will take High Surf here. It's actually a lot of damage, and if it scales with the build we're heading towards, I honestly I think it's reasonable to rank this up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. 130 damage every time an enemy tries to attack is gonna be very good for us.
It'll be all right.
And if we do get Poseidon's duo with Ares and his legendary, we're gonna have a lot of damage coming off of that set of boons. That upgraded High Surf, very soon. Oh goodness. All right, there's Hera, and this is right before the boss, so let's go ahead and take you. Fine Line won't be bad here, but I'm not super enthused about it. We're using our Omega attack often enough. I could see room for it, but if I'm looking for duos, I really would prefer the Poseidon Ares duo over the Hera Poseidon duo here. Although I think actually we've set ourselves up for it already. No, I'm mixing it up with his other. I get High Surf mixed up with, what is it? Ocean Swell. I get it mixed up with Ocean Swell all the time, and we have no way of getting it, so okay, we'll skip this. Bridal Glow. Sure, why not Bridal Glow here? Could hit the special, which would be just instantly infinite Ding Ding, so yeah, we'll do that. It hit the cast. All right, not amazing, but not bad either. Oh, ambrosia for Charon.
I've heard in times past you discreetly transport shipments of ambrosia all the way into the depths of Tartarus. And knowing you, my lord, you would never sample your own wares. So here, this is a gift, not a delivery.
He seems very appreciative, I
May
think.
there soon come such a time.
I'm a little disappointed that the aspect of Charon on the axe is not his ore. I understand kind of why they went with that, but I am a little disappointed.
Like magic. I must say, especially for someone who claims to thrive on pure disorder, you are very punctual and consistent, Eris. Every time I've crossed the rift, you've been right here.
No need to rub it in. Look, I know this is becoming a problem, but I swear I can get it under control. Just promise me you won't tell anybody.
You want me to promise not to tell anybody that you're punctual and consistent? Why? Because you'd hate for them to start to think better of you for a change?
Yeah. Although, since when do I even care what anybody thinks of me? That's not who I am. It's all because you're ruining it for me.
Oh, Eris. Ever the contrarian. Anyway, all right, let's see. Like, look at our damage there. Just the crit chance on the parry alone is so good. Sploosh. Whoosh and sploosh. All right, let's charge up my Omega attack. I can parry this. There we go. And... oh, okay, apparently she was still invulnerable there. I need to bail out of this. Ding, ding. Oh, she jumped away just in time for the ding, ding to come out. Yeah, applying Froth with our very fast attacks and Tidal and all of our splash damage just makes this so strong. All right, this time I'm going to hold out a little bit. Hit me once, why don't you, Eris? And then we get behind you, and you can't do anything about it. Ding, ding on the dot. And whoop, let's not go on the fire. It's interesting that they made it so that you can't put... I can't parry that. Okay. It's interesting how they decided not to make it so that your splash effects put out the fires here. Like, if you're gonna have Hestia's effects turn on the fire, I feel like you should have Poseidon's effects turn them off.
Package for you.
The messenger.
All right, Hermes, what have you got for us? Aid Dues. I don't like this legendary at all. It's not fun. Like, yeah, it makes you tanky, but only so long as your gold lasts, and if you don't have gold, you can't buy more boons. It's not fun for me. So, ooh, okay, ranking this up sounds like a lot of fun. We now attack 25% faster, which means we are splashing 25% faster. Sounds great to me. Anyway, so basically the only role I don't play in League is jungle. I think there's just too much... there's too much toxicity around that role in particular. There are a lot of expectations. You can very heavily influence the game as a jungler if you play well, but when the game goes poorly, you are the direct target of most players' ire, and it's often not your fault. But like, oh, it's just not a fun role for me. Yeah, you can play tanks as a jungler, but it's just why would I'd rather play support. And like that's not to say support is a bad alternative option. It's just it's so much preferable. So much more preferable than jungle to me, because everyone blames the jungler when things go wrong. Even if the jungler is playing well, like a lot of junglers that I play also are the like more farming focused junglers. They need to scale into late game because I just don't like assassins, so I don't usually play champions that are super strong in the early game. And some of the best junglers are assassins, to be clear. They don't fit my playstyle. And just the expectations and the vitriol that they are the target of often just deters me from ever wanting to touch them, frankly. A lot of the jungle champions just aren't the best in ARAM, so I don't want to even play the champions to begin with. Like, a lot of assassin-y champions have a really hard time in baseline ARAM because they're just very easily poked down, don't have a lot of in the way of sustain or like good survivability tools against poke, and ARAM very much emphasizes good poke. So I guess that's another reason for it. And again, I like tanks. I like roles that emphasize tanks. Granted, it sounds like in the current meta, which I'm not really taking part in, ranged top laners are a really popular thing, which just sounds awful as a Singed main, which is another good reason why I'm not playing right now. And there's another 50 HP. Thank you, Poseidon. Hello, Hera. All together now, gain one of each element and one infusion boon. One of the most busted legendaries out there. And Hereditary Bane, sure, why not? And C-Star has been rarefied. Oh, everything's getting rarefied. Okay, so C-Star activates even more now. Okay, we are very strong, and I think I will go for my second hammer here. Hephaestus is fun. Hephaestus is actually really good for our build, I imagine, because we can get some boons to scale our special ding-ding damage even further. But I think out of the two, the hammer just we could get Trick Knives, Kiwi. Trick Knives is enough for me to say, okay, yeah, we get Trick Knives, we're great. Trick Knives is probably my favorite hammer in the game, to be honest. It's just so very strong. And even if we don't get Trick Knives, anything that scales well with our attack would be amazing. And I'm not going to complain about one that scales with our special. I don't think it's going to be great for this build, but it'll be good. All right, let's see what we get. We have got attack, deal 150% more damage striking from behind, or of course we're going to take this one. Your attacks are 35% faster in a build where we're already just doing a ton of attack damage or attack speed scaling. This is so good.
Now be quiet, everyone. I think that's hurry. Welcome.
Okay, I cut off his dialogue there by accident, but he was saying, "Everyone be on your best behavior. Here she comes again." Like he's apparently really trying to maintain a facade of these guys being our friends.
The trap is set.
Which, it's not really a facade. In this area, it's like all neutral parties meet, I guess. Yeah, fishy, fishy. But, alright. So let me talk a little bit more directly about Singed. So Singed is one of mine and Kiwi's favorite characters from Arcane, because like he's the mad scientist. Of course he's going to be one of our favorite characters, and his motivations are really clear. Kiwi has always said that, or has said on multiple occasions, that his story reminds her of a song she quite likes. What is it? The clockmaker's wife? What? The doctor's wife. There we go. It's kind of the same notion of recreating a loved one who has passed using mechanics, or like basically mad science to bring back a loved one effectively. Is that right, Kiwi?
That's the spirit, giving back to the community. I like it, yeah? After all, you know I can't make cheer and revelry for everyone all by myself, don't you? Though between us, I still can make an awful lot.
Kiwi says I was kind of right on that very brief summary. Let's see. After all, you... All right, let's see what we get.
Cheer and revelry that you've created seemingly out of thin air, and during such a time. Well, if this truly is to be a never-ending feast, then you'll need plenty of supplies.
Enjoy the nectar.
So did you have a chat with old Prometheus on my behalf or what? I'd go on over and invite him here myself, but I'm the host. It wouldn't do for me to slip away, would it?
I don't think we have had that discussion yet, actually.
Of all the things for you to vividly recall, you truly wanted me to direct one of our most bitter foes here to a feast not even your closest family members know about.
I mean, yeah. We gods can be so stubborn and stuck up, waving our weapons at each other when we ought to wave an olive branch instead. Now you go tell that hothead that we're saving him a spot.
I very much hope that we do see Prometheus in the pool here at some point or another. That would be really funny. Oh, this is new. Bottomless drink. In each encounter, grape juice appears in the area and grants power when collected. 100 power. Okay, that's actually really strong. So power is base damage on both attack and special. This will scale absurdly well with our crit. And, oh, actually, now that I think about it, forget our crit. Just power in any capacity. Oh, it's only the very next move, so we'll have to time it with our Omega attack. But okay, if this lasted for a duration, that would be broken as heck on a fast-hitting weapon, because power scales really, really good with fast-hitting weapons. Yeah, we take this for prophecy, we take this for build as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think going forward, every time I see a god, I'm going to give them a nectar going forward, because we just have so many and we have so much progress to make with nectars at this point. I really would prefer the Poseidon boon here, I think, but Hera, increased rarity on Hera, what does that stand to offer us? Let's see. I think actually she has a very powerful damage up boon we could potentially see here, as long as we have no uncommon boons, which we have her infusion, so we definitely have no uncommon boons here. All right, I need to get my parry off. Oh my goodness, you were glitching out there, something fierce. All right, watch this. Oh right, you know what? Spam my special to clear off all armor. Forgot about that. Here we go, no armor, and now you just die. I am timing my dodges beautifully there. My goodness, that was clean.
Olympus is no place for such monsters.
Aside from the one hit I took. Also the forgetting to actually use my nectar on her. Oops. Oh well. Extended family will be very good for a Poseidon boon focused build, so I'm not going to complain about getting this. Her flat damage boost would have been great too, but it's fine. And then, more max magic I really don't need. If we get Uncanny Fortitude from Hephaestus, it'll be fine. It'll give us a ton of HP at this point, because we already have so much in the way of max magic. But it's definitely not the priority on this build, I would say. Like, again, splash damage is being kind of nutty here. Anyway, focusing on. What is this? Oh, that's the canned drink that, okay, I see. So, I was confused, but basically it's making the sound of nectar when nectar spawns on the field, but that's our power boosting thing. So let's see how much this does to our Omega attack. Where's the drink? Hello? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's grab this. Riposte and 360. Okay, that was rather lackluster, admittedly, but We probably just didn't get the good, I don't know. Our base damage on the Omega attack isn't really where our damage comes from, I suppose. This must be, no, this isn't, I'm surprised. I was thinking this was an Athena room with how many waves we're fighting, but no, we're just having a ton of enemies spawn for some reason. Oh, we are having Athena. Okay, I've noticed a trend that Athena's rooms take very long. We get like a lot of bonus enemies in Athena's rooms.
Behold your queen.
Behold your king. All right, there it is. Uncommon Grace. While none of your other boons are common, deal 28% more damage. We love to see that.
Yes.
There's some strange spell at work on you, for you seem different than before. Have you shrunk down, cousin? Whether a blessing or a curse, I can't immediately say.
Arguably both.
It's a blessing, or at least I think it is. The craft of Madame Circe the Enchantress, whom I encountered on my voyage here.
Oh, her I do recall. She once created quite the predicament for a mortal seafarer whom I intended to protect. No one I think you'd know. I'd watch myself with her.
I suspect she will eventually find out that we do in fact know Odysseus. This is probably the prelude to that conversation. All right, Mental Block. Righteous Pike, we're not using enough magic to justify that. Divine Dash would probably be the best option here because I'm dashing left and right, but I think I'll do Mental Block, just as a change of pace. And unfortunately, I forgot to give her a gift, so we're not gonna get that. Let's go Popo. So why do I like Singed? So first off, I like high mobility characters, and Singed is the epitome of high mobility. Assuming he's not crowd controlled, mind you. Singed, more so now than ever before, has a lot of move speed, and it's so funny to get his passive fully stacked that gives him so much move speed. So for context, the way Singed's passive in League works is every time he runs near a champion, ally or enemy, he gets a percent move speed buff that scales with his level through the course of the game. So as the game goes on, longer and longer, he gets faster and faster for every enemy he runs through. And by the end game, comboed with the move speed steroids of of items that you've purchased, as well as just running through all the enemies, because as the game goes on, you're more likely to have team fights where all 5 champions from each team are close up next to each other. So the odds of him getting the fully stacked passive, it gets up there, and if enough time has passed, he can stack it again off the same ally. There's a cap. There is a cap, I believe, but more importantly than that is kind of the notion that, again, as the fights go on, you're stacking more and more move speed. Your ultimate gives you move speed. Your items that you prioritize give you often move speed. So you're going to be zooming by the end game, and it's so funny to just run in, run out as Singed, and just have all of this no C-star activation there. It is just really funny to just get all of this move speed and just run around the map doing nonsense things. My favorite things that happen as a Singed player are the moments where I run face first into an enemy team, drop all my damage, run out, survive with like 1 HP, and then get to just get out with 1 HP while enemies die to my poison. Because that is the other big point of Singed's kit, Poison Trail, that makes him unlike really any other champion in the game, I would argue, between how fast he can get and how his damage is not focused on him attacking enemies directly per se. It's about him dropping a Poison Trail, a big AoE that if enemies walk into, they take damage over time effect. Yeah, he's not a burst champion under any circumstances, but the damage output that he has, especially in team fights, makes him really fun to play. And he can split push really effectively, which when you have a team that just is not performing well and you don't think team fights are the way to go, you can very effectively just bail out of team fights, leave your team to their own demise, but still have an incredible amount of map pressure. Obviously, I would argue that, or I've learned, this perspective has changed with time and experience, and certainly watching a lot of Minish Cap 1's Singed-focused videos, but Singed is a very strong team fighter, so him being around for team fights is imperative to your team's success in a lot of instances, but it is worthwhile acknowledging that even without that, Singed is really good at split pushing because he can just wipe out minion waves and push towers. He can't clear towers quickly, really, unless he's really focused on magic damage, which usually you get 1 or 2 magic damage focused items, but they're usually kind of off tank items, so they don't have a ton of AP or magic damage scaling. Do I just go for more max HP here because this is funny, or do I go for another curse? I think we go for curse because that's just going to make our damage go even crazier. So every time we do a ding ding, now enemies take 30% more damage.
The Smith God's power.
All right, let's watch what happens to Prometheus. Do we get the follow-up to Dionysus's request? I'm curious. Let's see.
The gods, one of them anyway, extend an offering of peace, Prometheus. Lord Dionysus would have you as a guest of honor at his latest celebration, if you'll indulge him. Given your gift of foresight, you must know I'm entirely sincere.
My foresight only works if there is any possibility of an outcome taking place. Whatever deception you have in mind, you shall have to try harder than that.
Ah, poor Dionysus. We'll get him to go eventually.
You and your master are different. Can you not accept that the gods aren't all aligned in their thinking either? Dionysus wants no part in your feud.
Dionysus wants merely to drown his few remaining complicated thoughts and seek more pleasures of the flesh. More beast than god, lacking all self-control.
I kind of actually really like that read on Dionysus. That was kind of cool. I think I just focus on DPSing here because, I mean, look at this happening. What's happening on screen right now. There we go, phased. And that's without any attack speed. 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Charge up an Omega attack. Get a parry if you don't mind, sir. Give me one good parryable move. Okay, this is kind of not what I wanted, but there we go. And just focus on ding-ding damage. And we do a lot of damage by Froth now because we got Slippery Slope, which enhances its damage. It basically doubles its damage now. 3, 2, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 2, 1. Charge up parry. Wonder if I can actually parry that. I assume I can. Oh well, we're just gonna DPS him if he's not gonna give this to us. Because we don't actually need the parry damage to just melt this guy. My goodness, we've got damage.
If you could see what I've foreseen, you'd not believe it anyhow. Far worse awaits above.
I think the biggest reason I like Singe is I can pretty much do whatever the heck I want on him sometimes. I can split push, I can team fight, I can usually lose the lane. I'll usually lose lane in the early game and then just come back and be a menace no matter how badly I did in lane. Because I'm still farming pretty well because of how he farms with his poison trail. It's pretty easy. Learning to proxy, so I force enemies to stay under their tower. Otherwise I get plating, which gives me a ton of extra gold. Basically, for context, plating is basically a section of the HP bar of the tower I'm pushing. And as I deal damage to it, that plating comes off and I get a set amount of gold worth the value of the tower. So basically, as long as I have enemies push their tower, I can get a cheeky hit on their tower, grab the plating, which gives me extra gold. I get the minions very consistently because I'm farming behind the enemy's turret, keeping them stuck against the turret. Because the biggest thing that people get mistaken about is pursuing Singe to kill him is often a mistake. You want to focus on farming your minions, and Singe has no interest in fighting you in most of the early game, so it's a very common and strong strategy to do what's called proxying, where you basically go behind, you go way deeper than any other champion probably would to farm minions. Effectively farming closer to your enemy's base than your own, which isn't usually an advisable strategy for basically any champion unless they have really good sustain for HP regen, or they're Singed who can get away so easily. Because the second an enemy comes, you turn on your ultimate, which gives you a bunch of move speed, gives you a bunch of tanky stats. You get your passive, which makes you move faster, and you have then his other two abilities, his super adhesive, I think it's called, his W, which drops an AoE slow that also prevents enemies from using mobility abilities, so like dashes and flash, which lets them gap close. And then on top of that, my gosh, our damage is disgusting. Look at that. Nope, that mini boss is still alive. Okay, fine. Now it's dead. Like, we actually at this point don't even need to depend on the effective Artemis, we just do so much damage. Fuck, these blades were so weak. I've come around on them immensely. I now am very convinced that the axe is objectively the worst, or at least my worst weapon. D-Star? Nope. Okay, we are at 400 HP though. We get one Ares boon for mutual destruction, and we are going to have a disgusting amount of damage here. Let's go with Hydraulic Might. 210% extra damage for the first, 7-8 seconds of the fight. We are going to melt every mini-boss and phase Typhon immediately. A little late for it to really matter too much, but still very funny when used effectively. Like, look at that damage. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, this is gross. This is gross. I love it. One testament for us. We are fast too. We have a very strong build, my dear. We are definitely a bit more prone to taking damage, but you know what? Who cares about damage when you have 400 freaking HP? Nothing's gonna one-shot us, that's for sure. But we probably should be a little mindful of that fact that we can have damage add up over time. He says as he takes another huge shot to the face. Okay, here's our moment of truth. Can we get Poseidon's legendary or duo from this? We're likely going to see at least one of them right now, I think. All right, here, give me a parry, please. There we go. This is gross, this is gross, this is so gross. My goodness, absolutely disgusting. Like, we just run up to Typhon and face tank. Literally, we tank his face, but we're good, we're so good. But yeah, so not only does Singe have an AoE slow that grounds enemies, preventing them from using mobility abilities, Seismic Servo, any boon effects that recharge over time recharge faster. Okay, so this is boon effect, so I don't think it's going to affect our parry, but if it did, that would be kind of gross. That would be extra nutty for Aspect of Artemis in particular.
Prepare, fishy.
But also his final ability, his E, Fling, takes an enemy in front of him and flings them behind him, and if they land on your adhesive, they get locked in, they get rooted for a duration, which means
Make short work of the big guy up there.
with really good positioning, you can really troll enemies that come to fight you and just like get a giant speed boost from your ultimate and your passive, slow your enemy, and then root them in place so they can't do anything against you. It's so very funny. I guess, I mean, none of these are super good here, so I guess I'll take paid dues. I'll spend all my money and then we'll use Hermes legendary since we get it.
I greet you.
Ares mutual destruction, please.
I wish never to burden my mother the queen, so heavy is her crown, but she insists on being here, perhaps believing that my aid alone shall not suffice. Is that quite so, mother?
Honestly, between mutual destruction and their duo, I take mutual destruction here. It's so good for us.
Spare me your concern, Ares, and whilst in company, address me not as mother. If I cannot trust you with basic matters of decorum, why ever should I trust the efficacy of your blessings?
You should trust them because he was the recipient of post-release buffs, which tend to be kind of gross. And there it is, mutual destruction. Yeah, I don't care about this. Profuse bleeding is a reasonable alternative, but just a chance of extra crit on a very crit-heavy build where it can stack with crit. I said crit too many times in that sentence. It's gross. Just accept that it's gross. We do not get a really great boon here. I guess I'll take Fine Line. I'm not going to really benefit from it, but it is what it is.
All right.
And then a 2 sets of armor for 80 armor altogether. And paid dues is just going to make it so we never take damage, which is a little bit disappointing considering we actually want to kind of take damage for mutual destruction. But I think we just go up and face tank. I think we face tank Typhon and just spam attack and special and see what happens.
Typhon!
I forgot to switch out my keepsake, didn't I? What am I using right now? Concave Stone? Yeah, I'm still using Concave Stone. Oops. It is max level now, so there's at least that. All right, let's just focus on face tanking. Do we phase him before he even gets a chance? We do phase him before he even gets a chance. Gross. All right, let's charge up this. Our damage is absolutely wicked. All right, here's a free parry. Take that. All right, we have crit chance now. Oh, this thing spawned. Okay. Surprise, didn't even see you there. Get out of my way, sir. You're not what I want here. All right, give me your chin slam. Okay, that works too. Bang, 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 bang. Gross. Just gross. But yeah, I think the reason why I like Singe is his mobility. How you can play him both tank and very heavy into damage if you want to. And more than anything, it's just, there's no champion that plays quite like him. Between how you can control the map, how you can constantly apply pressure to both team fights, and just map control as well. It's so fun to play him. Ding ding, and then a riposte. We're just gonna pay dues through all this. This is fine. Tried to dodge that. I swear we're out of coin. This is fine. There we go. Like, the DPS there was absurd. All right, I have come around on Lin and Oros so much. In Poag, Python eradicated. I should probably just start running Valor Rivals 4 at all times. I think we're having too easy a run. I need to have a little bit more. I don't know, man. Maybe not for Axe, but for any of the other ways, maybe I start doing that. All right, so how crazy was our attack by the end of this? Please note that we did not get a duo with Poseidon, or Poseidon and Ares, or Poseidon's legendary. Poseidon's legendary would have made our would have tripled our DPS on the splash effects, and Ares would have doubled it, I think, is basically how it works. So very, very gross build. Very, very gross build. All right, so what do we honor? I think we just honor all of the attack speed steroids because it's very funny to me. So we've got Wave Strike level 5, and then we've got Aspect of Artemis for crit chance. We got... Oh, I forgot we got a bunch of infusions earlier. I forgot about that. We didn't even have Demeter here. Self-healing, so we were tanking all together. Nimble Limbs, there we go. 25% more attack speed there. Success rate was just silly here. C-Star was even sillier because of that, though. 35% more attack speed. Extended Family on Poseidon Splash, for sure we honor. Seismic Servo was whatever. Hydraulic Might was silly. Slippery Slope, though. And then the damage steroid here. All right, let's just make sure that... Oh, and Grizzly Gain. Definitely Grizzly Gain. So we got 28% or 32% attack speed there. And then let's just make sure that this shows up at the bottom here because it's funny. There we go. Absolutely nutty build. Poseidon Waves did probably a solid half of our damage overall. A very clean run overall.
Stronger.
Yeah, I just like how fast Singe is, how hard it is to keep him restrained without very good crowd control on the enemy team, and how I can basically play him however I want, adapt to a situation. He's a very good for adaptation, and like, I don't know, he's a funny champion. He's very funny. I'm glad they made it so that his laugh autocasts anytime he flings, because he feels like a troll champion sometimes. He really does.
The underworld's guardian, Melenui, belongs not high above the surface, but below. Thus, having taken care of family business for the night, she vanishes before the break of dawn.
Return to Shadow now.
But alrighty, Kiwi, that is another run complete. Let us do our town roundup. I'm probably going to pass around some nectars for some more dialogue, and then
Well, that was productive.
I'm going to need to eat something because I am dizzyingly hungry.
Shall we go again, Phrynos? Perhaps we're dealing with infinite possibilities. The old painting safely tucked away. That memory isn't going anywhere.
All right, Dora, you feeling thirsty?
Mel, you've inspired me to float right here for the time being.
I respect that.
Cheers, Dora.
Kiwi has inspired me to sit here and yap. All right, have a nectar.
On the one hand, I really don't know what I did to deserve this, but on the other hand, I really don't care. It's mine now.
She gets it.
It most certainly is. And there's more in it for you if you keep on haunting this tent.
Consider it done. She will gladly maintain her job and post here.
You're back.
Master of Revelry. Okay, the daughter of the god of the dead shall earn a variety of boons from Dionysus. 500 both.
The god of wine shall help to calm your mind.
All right, so I now realize that these ones that are marked with hearts are the major story progress sort of thing. So Voice and Vanity. This is Persuade Narcissus and Echo to face their past. Okay, Haunted by the Past. This is Dora and Prometheus. And then our main epilogue sort of thing. Interesting, okay.
Oh, hey.
Hey there, Eris. I'm to be a pain in the butt again? Here, have a nectar.
Babe, no one ever gets me anything like this. Except the last couple of times you got me the exact same thing. But oh, I feel so bad I don't have anything for you.
Oh, you know you have something for us, Eris. You give it to us every time we give you a nectar.
It's only a gift to make you feel a little better, not worse. Don't mention it, just you enjoy. But please don't leave the empty bottle on the ground.
Aw, Hypnos is gone? I had big plans for him involving a bag of cats and a couple bottles of nectar you gave me.
I don't follow what this plan is, but I would like to know more.
Then I saved him from a terrible fate of some sort. Perhaps at some point down the line he'll thank me properly, as he was in a bit of a hurry to depart.
Why don't you let me kill you next time we're on the rift, and chances are you'll wash on down into the river Styx and wind up right in front of him again. He's the greeter at the House of Hades, isn't he?
That is very true. We should probably do an underworld run just so that we can see him in at his job.
He's not a greeter. He holds a position of high honor.
He kind of is a greeter, actually, Mel.
Welcome to the House of Hades. He's a greeter, babe.
Sorry, that's 2-1, Mel. You're in the wrong on this one.
How goes it?
Goes great, Dora. Thank you.
I noticed Hypnos was no longer in his spot, though for how long I couldn't say. Perhaps Odysseus had him relocated someplace where the snoring would be less of a distraction.
That would be a funny alternative. Just Odysseus getting absolutely tired of the snoring and just like storing him in a sack or something so the snoring is muffled.
Oh no, I woke him up. Required a series of increasingly complex alchemical processes and dreamwalks, but still, he immediately left for the House of Hades in a bit of a panic.
Do you think he put his shirt back on, or is he just going to be greeting people shirtless now?
I'm sorry I missed him. From what I know about your father, he does value punctuality. And from what I know about my brother Sleep, he must have greeted you enthusiastically.
Thank you, love you, bye.
You could say that.
All right, Moros, have a gift.
You're very kind to me, Princess. I arrived at these crossroads in a desperate state. I didn't expect to be made welcome here.
And I didn't expect to meet Doom face to face, much less for him to be rather agreeable. Yet here we are.
Righty. Hecate, would you like a nectar?
Fresh from the pot.
All right, we made a shadow. I feel like we're pretty good on nectar at this point, so maybe I make some more animal crackers. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of these, I think.
Become what I seek.
Have a gift, Hecate.
Oh, come, Melenue, you need not influence me with such gifts. We have a task. Let us stay focused on it, no?
No, we're gonna be friends.
You have taught me to apply myself to many things at once, Headmistress. Why can't I stay on task while paying my respects?
See, Mel gets it. Good argument.
Hypnos certainly left in a hurry. It took you longer to wake him than I initially surmised, but 'twas for the best.
What, you knew this would happen? Why didn't you say anything for all the times I tried to break him out of his slumber? I thought you were ignoring him.
Oh, I was. After I saw that you had learned sufficiently. Your affinity toward dreams and the like proved necessary to the task, and Hypnos, in his way, was an accessory to that.
I appreciate that Hecate is acknowledging that, yeah, she used Hypnos for a learning tool for Mel, but also the fact that she was just like, yeah, I did. I just completely was ignoring him by a certain point here.
You brought him here for me to practice on.
He did require a place to stay.
May as well use him as a guinea pig, so he pays his dues in one weird way or not. That is funny. Thank you, Hecate, for lightening the mood a little bit. All right, a little bit more of this shop. I don't know how many of these things we'll need, but I feel like we'll need a fair few of them.
Suggest you quit it with these nectars soon. Can't have too much of a good thing. Should know that about me by now.
Sure, you can't have too much of a good thing any more than anybody else. Though, what would happen if you did? You'd need to punish yourself.
Yeah, and don't you dare act like you wouldn't do the same. One thing I'll grant Hecate is she does value discipline. Sometimes we have to discipline ourselves.
Pray tell, Nemesis, how do you discipline yourself?
We have to take care of ourselves, too.
Can't believe it. You finally woke Hypnos up and I slept through the whole thing. He everything you dreamed of.
Honestly, yeah, he's a very good boy.
Well, his manner wasn't what I expected, and he was not especially appreciative. Although I too am prone to moodiness after sleeping in. Then he left in a hurry.
Tough break, I guess. Always thought he really was your type. Well, if you do end up working in your father's house, you'll meet again. For now, at least we don't have to listen to him snoring every single night.
Now it'll be every other couple nights, I imagine. I hope. I will miss him if he doesn't come back. Also, I am also prone to moodiness after I sleep in, although that moodiness is usually me being very hyper and excited because I'm actually well rested for a change.
I do suppose there's that.
Also, being much more able to complete sentences and speak my mind in an eloquent and coherent manner. I mean, look at that, Kiwi. I finished a whole sentence using really big boy words.
I'm most grateful, Goddess, and expect to knock this back at the Taverna at the soonest opportunity.
No rush. Just as long as you enjoy it when that opportunity presents itself.
So blasted quiet now. At first I couldn't tell what changed till I recalled Hypnos had gone away. I was so accustomed to always hearing him in the background.
It's one of those weird things of like the ambient soundscape of your living circumstances. You kind of get used to it after a while, and to have a weird sense of quiet when it goes is just disquieting, for lack of a better word.
Wait, you miss his ceaseless snoring? You of everyone at the crossroads were in closest proximity, so I figured you'd be the most pleased that he's finally home.
Now, all that carbon dioxide he was expelling was really great for the plants he was growing.
Pleased for him, aye. And the auditory change isn't a bad one, but even when things improve, it can be an adjustment.
Change always is an
I'll
adjustment.
miss him too, mostly.
I do appreciate
Something where Hypnos used to be.
I do appreciate that everyone has a bit of dialogue
Thank you for
regarding
having faith in me.
regarding Hypnos leaving. Wish I could spar with Nemesis just once. The rest of you are total pushovers. Dying wish feasting. Speak with Dionysus. He can help you with that, I'm sure.
Having vacated the crossroads in all haste, the until recently long dormant incarnate of sleep delivered certain articles in show of gratitude, and perhaps more.
Articles?
I ended his dreams, and in a way, he ended mine.
Okay, I guess he's just leaving his stuff behind here. Please appreciate the little plushie of Zagreus in the, on the floor right there. I would love to see what Zagreus thinks about seeing those.
How can this be?
All right, Kiwi, let's go say goodnight to I guess, Toppy. She is snoring quite loudly next to me right now. All right, we are getting a staff run. Let's see, what are we going to take here? Cannot rank up Aspect of Mel, but we just need a Fade Fabric, so I'll grab that off camera. Kiwi, we're going to do an Aspect of Mel run, which means I want to... I think I'll stick with Jeweled Palm Fate Swim runs. They're too much fun. I've been really enjoying these runs of late. They're just they're so strong with the palm effect that we get from the keepsake. With all that said, Kiwi,
For always believing in us.
I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake,
Speak not to me, young one, but rather strike me down.
No, you get nectar. I'm going to talk to you right now. Have nectar.
Ah, the memories, young one. Your brother thusly used to favor me. And for his sake and yours, I shall accept this. Now please accept my gratitude. Hey, thanks.
Cute.
You are most welcome, Commander. And hey, thanks to you in turn for your peerless insight and steadfast presence.
I do wish they had a little bit of a follow-up commentary to whatever Mel says at the end of their Nectar dialogue, but I understand why not. Actually, no, I don't. Supergiant Games has never been limited with their additional dialogue, so I guess I'm a little disappointed. Anyway, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you are sleeping, I hope you are sleeping well. I desperately have to use the bathroom, which is why I'm talking. I'm trying not to talk super fast, and I'm certainly padding out time between me and the resolution of my discomfort. So with all that said, I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Sleep well, my dear.
Been hit.